I don't think Toyota's ever going to recover from this, and there's two parties to blame. Hey, Lance Mechanics here. I'm back at it again. So what's going on? Today I'm going to talk about Toyota, and yeah, there's probably a quality issue there, but there's really a technician issue there. There always has been. The last few years I've probably seen it at the worst it's ever been, and it's just going to keep getting worse, which is possibly better for technicians in the long run, but I really don't think so. So what's happening? So in my neck of the world, Canada, Toyota at the moment has such a backlog on training that they don't have their certified Toyota Master Techs. And what's happening is, not only is there really no new apprentices coming into the industry, there's a brain drain right now. So as it stands, Toyota is so far behind on training that they're all starting off at the bottom. So let's just say, let's put it into levels 1 to 4. Everybody's at level 1. They have a backlog of 4 years of training, which tells me that there's nobody new coming into the industry, but also tells me that there's not enough master certified techs, and this is how I come to that conclusion. So in my local area, the dealership has lost almost all their master Toyota techs. They got maybe 2 guys left, and that's a brain drain. They probably lost a good 40 years of experience in a matter of a year. That's huge. You cannot replace those numbers in training, and it takes years. It takes years to make a master Toyota tech. It is what it is. So what's going on? So the one guy I work with, I'll tell you what he made to the industry, and Toyota and the dealership owners screw over technicians. So put this scenario in there. The one guy he was pretty much a master tech, left because the Toyota engine recall on the Tundras. The hours were great, and then they continually dropped how much he's making, to the point where here in Canada, Ontario, he said they were making 16 hours on this warranty job. At first it was higher, and then they just keep lowering it. So basically, it's Toyota's screw up, but the technicians are paying for it with their wages. And for those who don't know what flat rate is, let's say this engine job pays 16 hours flat rate, and it takes you 20 hours to pay it. And you're at $10 an hour. Effectively, you're lowering your wage to make this job complete. And that's warranty in a nutshell, and it's horrible. It's absolute trash. So this one technician, he left because of the recall. He was sick of it. He said it's utter bullshit. Awesome. So what happened is, when he left, they had to raise everybody's pay by $5 an hour. They had to raise a lot of experience, and you cannot replace experience. It doesn't matter how many kids you throw at the problem for the shortage, you cannot train experience as fast as they think you can. It takes years to build a master tech, and if there's no master techs, by the way, Toyota says you need to have these qualifications to do these recalls. If there's nobody in the shop doing these recalls, who the hell's doing them? Well, you got to go to another dealership, or they're going to start pulling some really, really bad stuff in the back garage. So, as I said earlier in the video, there's 2 parties at fault here. One is the OEM manufacturer. Toyota has not helped this by reducing warranty times on recalls. So if before the recall, this engine had a set amount of time, let's say 28 hours. Okay, they're not going to do engines too often. It wasn't a recall, 28 hours, maybe 36 customer pay. Suddenly it's a recall, and they're doing these engines, and the manufacturer's excuse is you're doing enough of them that you should get good at it. Well, I don't agree with that. If it was originally 28 hours, it should have stayed 28 hours warranty. I think it's a bullshit excuse for manufacturers. Just because you're doing enough of them, you should get better at it. No. Some lawmakers really need to step in. As far as I'm concerned, that's wage theft in my eyes. It's utter bullshit. So Toyota, you're not helping your case here. You're really screwing over the industry by lowering these times. I know for a fact now you sent one technician out of the industry. He's not coming back. In my area, we have lots of options. And when there's options available, techs start looking around. So Toyota, 100% not helping the issue with these reduced warranty times. In the past, I heard they used to be really good, but you know what? Bean counters have made it into Toyota too. What can I say? The next thing is the dealership owners. You're damn right they're going to pay bottom of the dollar to get people in, and a lot of the time, if you go against the grain, they try and get you out of there. They want yes men, yes people, yes ladies. They want agreeable people who will not question the status quo. And a lot of these technicians leaving have had it in the industry. Like I said, I got contacted by CBC Radio, and they wanted to interview a young person. I said, nah, you need to interview the senior people. Why does somebody with 5, 10, 15 years experience leave the industry? No, stop talking to these young kids. They don't have enough experience to know what's going on. I had rose tinted goggles when I came into the industry. It is what it is. Now that I know what I know, hell no, I would never do it again. All right, so back to the dealership owners. Obviously, they're gonna be lowballing. For those who general public don't know, car sales makes up a good chunk of sales or money making in the dealership. The service department makes up a majority of it. I don't care what anybody says. You sell 20 cars at $500 a day or $500 each profit, whatever. The back shop is making more than that in a day. An automotive technician is considered consistent income, especially if they have the billable hours in a day. So the service department makes the money at the dealership, and the technicians are the bottom of the barrel as far as I've seen and what other people consider. So dealership owners, managers, principals, they shit down on the service manager shits down on the mechanics, and yeah, lowball wages and work environments. A lot of these shops, you think dealerships are equipped. They really aren't. They're missing tools, they're missing bays. That's another topic I've talked about. A lot of technicians end up with one bay, which is stupid, especially when a recall on an engine can take up to 4 days, and you need, if you have a truck, you need another area worth of the truck to do a teardown and space. That's just not given to you at a dealership because they like to put in more hoist in the square footage because they figure they could put another tech. Square footage is considered money generating, and that's a whole other topic. So anyways, dealerships, trying not to say sidetracked here, they lowball techs, they overwork them, they just screw them over. So in this case, the guy who was at $132,000 who quit, when he quit, they had to give everybody a $5 an hour pay raise. They had to do something special with the third guy who got a job offer, which I'm still saying you're stupid for not taking that. Again, they only give pay raises when talent leaves. You could be the best person in the industry. You can keep those CSI reports down, or 100%. You can diagnose everything right the first time. You could be perfect. You could be the best technician. But the guy who's pulling in the most money, doing the most screw ups, and at the end of the day, they just look at total. They don't look at how perfect you are. They're gonna go praise the guy who's basically, you're doing all his comebacks, you're doing all the warranty work, you're doing all the hard stuff, but the guy who generates more money is always gonna be the golden boy. So eventually you leave, and what happens? They realize what happens. Everything's gonna go downhill after you leave because you're one of those good techs. So they have to incentivize everybody by giving them a pay raise. They gave everybody a pay raise after me and another guy left at Toyota or Honda. They gave pay raises to these guys who left, or the guys who stayed, they gave pay raises to them. Why is the industry so screwed up that when the good guys leave, everybody else gets rewarded? It's kind of like I'm not saying, I know what I want to say, but you died for their sins basically, or you're the reason they got the pay raise and you had to leave to make this happen. It's not right in the industry. So as I said, the second thing is the dealership owners are the reason the industry is where it's at. And because now you have this sudden vacuum of knowledge, things aren't going to get better for Toyota. Because if you could sell a good product, but if people aren't repairing the product properly, efficiently, and correctly the first time, it's going to hurt your sales in the long run. It's going to ruin the brand image. And unfortunately, bean counters are everywhere, and Toyota has not stepped in and set things in stone. It's kind of a hard situation. Like, how does a OEM manufacturer set wages at a dealership? They can't. But they continually reduce the wages by reducing warranty times and what things pay. So, yeah, what can you do? I thought I'd release this video today. It's more of a rant. It's so weird that people I've worked with, I'm seeing underground now. They're all experiencing the same thing. They love the videos. This could be an hour topic. I hope maybe I'll get one of them on at some point. See what you guys think. But yeah, Toyota, you're not in for a good future, especially here in Canada. If you have a backlog of 4 years of training, ooh. And I don't feel any sympathy for the Toyota dealership owners. You made your bed, lay in it. I'm sure everybody around the country will agree. Everybody in North America will agree. Whatever. It's probably my second Toyota video. Anyways, Lance Mechanics, post what you think. If you're at a Toyota dealership, my condolences on the engine recall. Yeah, just keep on trucking. Have a good one there. Take care.